Hello, my name is Jean-Jacques. Today I would like to address all the people of the 21st century on the issue of violence and the general will. Back in 1789, a couple of friends of mine resolved, with the help of the people, to overthrow the bumbling and incompetent tyrant Louis XVI and his Austrian horrible wife, Marie Antoinette, and to liberate the oppressed masses from the yoke of the nobility and the clergy. The French Revolution began on July 14, 1789, when the people of Paris rose up against the oppressive regime and demolished the Bastille. The people continued to rise up against the monarchy, and when General Lafayette revealed treasonous letters from the king, the people ensured that justice was executed in a moment of weakness and corruption in the assembly. Through violence, we the people created a republic, and in the same fashion we abolished it when the general will refused to submit to the property lawyers of the National Assembly. But when is violence justified? In his social contract, Jean-Jacques Rousseau clearly states that whoever refuses to obey the general will shall be compelled to do so by the whole body, and that this compulsion is the key to a working political machine. Thomas Jefferson himself, the author of America's independence, saw the necessity of the violent upholding of the general will. In that declaration, he writes that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Furthermore, he stated that a periodic revolution every 20 years is a medicine necessary for the sound health of government, and that when the government fears the people, there is liberty, but when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. Even in the 21st century, this philosophy holds true. On January 25, 2011, the people of Egypt rose up and demanded that their 30-year oppressor, Hosni Mubarak, be removed from power. The people fought violently against the oppressor in the streets of the capital. They clashed with the authorities and even continued to fight after the thug called in his army. Violence triumphed and a 30-year reign ended on February 11th. The violence of the general will succeeded. But what about when the people refuse to use violence to extol the general will? The consequences are disastrous. In country after country, whenever the government feels no need to fear the violence of the general will, violence is used against the people themselves. For the past 50 years of your history, dictators like Castro and Pinochet have used violence to maintain their power because they do not fear that the general will shall be expressed violently against them. Lastly, we go to a present violent expression of the general will. On February 15, 2011, Libyans rebelled against the authority of their oppressor Muammar Gaddafi. The Libyan people, including women, violently fight against his efforts to remain in power. If the people refuse to submit, they may overthrow the oppressor and establish a new government. And a coalition of allies led by my beloved Frenchmen fight on their side. Violence will establish a new Libya of the general will. To conclude, is it not evident that wherever there is no fear of violence of the general will, oppression of the people occurs? Tyrants arise when the people fail to use violence to defend their will. However, if violence is used to justly defend the general will, the oppressors of the people will fail to enslave them. Violence is necessary to defend the general will, and violence is justified in the effort to keep man a free creature. This has been true since man's natural state and is true in your century. Saïda, Georges Danton.